Hi, this is Kathleen of American College Strategies, and I want to welcome you to the campus of Whitman College in Walla Walla, Washington. Walla Walla is a small town of about 30,000 people, and we're about 2.5 hours south of Spokane and about 4.5 hours east of Seattle. I've had a beautiful ride heading east over the Cascades and through the high plain area of eastern Washington. And all around me, I'm surrounded by fruit fields, wine fields, hay fields. This is really the agricultural growing fields of the state of Washington. So I'd like to welcome you here to Whitman College. This is a small, private, liberal arts college of about just under 1,500 students. So it's quite small, but it is one of these wonderful campuses that are called colleges that change lives. I would certainly recommend that this is a book that everyone should read when they're looking for universities. The interesting thing about the colleges that change lives is that it really helps you see the smaller, maybe unheard of colleges that you really should consider and put on your list to investigate and perhaps to come to. These are schools that take you from where you are when you get here and help you to blossom, to find out who you are and what you want to be. They run from small 500 student bodies to 6,000 up. But Colleges That Change Lives is a book to read. And Whitman has really impressed me. I'm here this morning in August, and right now classes start tomorrow for the first time. So this whole week has been move-in week here at Whitman. I've done my tour with a lovely student, actually from Colorado, who's an economics major and entering her sophomore year, and she loves the small town feel here in Walla Walla and at Whitman. What I've asked her is about the connection between the college and the town. And I was told that it's quite a strong connection, that events that happen on campus are also open to any town member. So whether there's a concert or whether there's a fair or whether there's a showing of art and theater, the whole town is invited and in fact does take part in this. And that's a really good thing about a small school in a small town. They really blend the college and the town to make your experience here a very enriching experience. So I am sure you want to hear a little bit about what Whitman is. With a little over 1,400, between 1,400 and 1,500 students, and small and private, they are a rigorous school. Whitman has a reputation of being quite cerebral. Their admittance rate is approximately 43%, but an interesting fact is if you apply early decision 1 or round 2, that admittance rate is 75%. But remember, early decision is binding. If you get admitted, you will come here and rescind all your other applications. So the class sizes here at Whitman are small. They average, they said, a little over 20, but many of the classes have 8 and 9 in it. A lot of their history and English classes are quite small. The student that was giving a tour said that's what she found wonderful. She found her initial math and sciences were maybe larger at 30 because they're general knowledge classes. But when you get down into the nitty-gritty and really doing research and doing hardcore investigation of books and history, it's quite small in the classes, and she has had 8 and 9 students in her classes. Another thing that I think you really need to look at when you consider liberal arts colleges is liberal arts does not mean no science. Right here now, about 30% of the students are studying and majoring in either a biological or physical science. So don't be swayed by the argument a big university is about science and a small one isn't. That is not the case. The small colleges and universities in the United States have very strong departments. In fact, one of the strong departments that is really known here at Whitman is a department I'd like you to hear a little bit about. It's a major in biochemistry, biophysics, and molecular biology. It's called BBMB. Very strong department, and over the last few years, they've had quite a few graduates in that program, and those students are going on to nursing, to doctoral programs, to medicine programs for physicians, and for research in the industry, in the biomedical and chemical industry. And what's good about that department and what sets you apart is the understanding that it's just not chemistry and biology separately, that there is a link. You can't study biology without understanding chemistry. And that's a plus when you're looking at medical schools. They really want you to have this breadth of knowledge and understand the interconnectedness of all these different disciplines that you're studying. So what brings people to Whitman? People are brought to Whitman because it is a liberal arts school, because it has a rigorous program, because it has a first-year experience called Encounters, where every freshman reads a core group of about 20 books, and it's deep discussions across disciplines about those books, be it the Quran, be it the book on Frankenstein. Whatever the books are, there's deep thought put into it, and a lot of critical reading, critical thinking, and critical writing. This is where the student at Whitman learns how to write and learns how to think deeply with their mind. When you talk about a small school and private, many people get very nervous about costs. Here at Whitman, the cost of attendance, which is your full cost of room, board, tuition, books, fees, transportation, insurance, spending money, is quite high at $61,000. However, the average need-based aid is over $33,000, and the average merit aid is over $9,000. So you have to really look not at the cost of attendance, but what is the net price that you're paying and what is the value you're getting out of it. So don't be afraid of the cost of attendance. Look at the bottom line. I encourage all of you to look at the net price calculators to really understand what the true cost of attending a fabulous school like Whitman College is. In the realm of athletics, Whitman is a Division III school, which means, yes, it has sports, but it is performing and competing in Division III. What that means for students is there is no scholarships for athletics. You can get a scholarship for your academic ability, but not for your athleticism. That said, many athletes come here simply because they can get a fabulous education and they can play their sports. In fact, I was told that last year in Division III men's basketball, Whitman actually competed in the Sweet 16, and the entire school body here actually traveled up to Spokane to watch their team compete in the Sweet 16 in men's basketball. So there is a rigorous and strong athletic component here, and if you're not doing Division III, 90% of the students take part in their intramural program, 90%. Besides athletics, many students take part in the fraternities and sororities. There are four frats and 4 sororities on campus, and about 44% of the men and women take part in it. But that said, people have friends in different sororities, and people not in frats and sororities are friends with people who are in it. And parties are open and gatherings are open, and all events put on by the Greek system are open to anybody on campus. So that it just shows you the vibrancy and the strength and warmth of the community, that they're all in this together, and Whitman embraces all their students. So if you're looking at a small liberal arts school, and certainly consider colleges that change lives, Whitman in Eastern Washington is a school you have to really look at seriously. Come and take a tour, go to an information session, and definitely sit on an interview and a meeting one-on-one with an admissions officer. Depending on where you're located in the United States, you have an admissions officer assigned to that region. That is the person who you will interview with, and that is the person and the first person that will read your application. So it's very important to contact them early and let them know you're interested in Whitman. I want to take the stress out of this entire process of searching for colleges and applying to colleges. I would be delighted to help you. I'm Kathleen at American College Strategies.